Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Molly and today we're doing a Scad dorm essentials video. So this is everything that I thought was helpful to have in my dorm last year. I lived in the Hive. I was in Honey room 211 if you happen to get that, and these are things that I thought came in handy. I'll start off by telling you guys things that I got from Amazon, and I'll have links, and you guys can easily order these to the Amazon lockers, or you can either order them to the mailroom, or if you're driving, maybe you order them to your house and then bring them. I personally shipped pretty much everything, and I only like took on the plain clothes and then like makeup and stuff. I shipped more clothes and a couple random things, but like this was stuff that I ordered and I picked up when I got here. This is stuff that I thought was useful. Maybe it is to you, maybe it isn't. Otherwise, let's just get into it. I have it all on my iPad. There's quite a few things here, both recommendations and things that you should get. First of all, these moving bags. I'm gonna put like pictures on the screen. Also, these moving bags have helped me so much in the last year. I use them to move into my dorm, out of my dorm, and into this apartment. They are so helpful. They're kind of like the IKEA, like those IKEA moving bags. I guess they're a dupe for it. Very sturdy, and they're odd because they do zip on like the side. So you have to like, it's like a weird way of holding it and like putting stuff in and then carrying it. But these things were the saving grace of my moving process. They made things so much easier because you could put it on your back like a backpack, which made it easier to go up and down stairs. We did like use elevators, but to come up to my apartment here, those moving bags were amazing. And I can fit 6 of them perfectly in my car, and that's what it comes in a pack of 6. I'll probably end up wanting to get more in the future, but they've lasted me so long. I love them. Amazing. 10 out of 10 recommend, and I think you need to bring these. Okay, the next thing is for under the bed. So personally, I wanted something like very cohesive. I just didn't want my under my bed to be like messy, and I didn't want like to see things constantly. So I went and got some drawers, which I did a lot of measuring beforehand by like looking on the website, and I did a lot of research on what like size, like how much space is between the floor and like the bed. So under the bed, I got these drawers off Amazon, and they're the Sterilite like 27 quart drawers. So I could fit 2 on top of each other perfectly, and I could slide them in and out, and I thought they were amazing. Again, those are linked. And then behind them, I kept like my suitcases. So because I do fly back and forth to go home, I don't drive, I'm not that close. So I would put my suitcases behind the drawers, so that way it's easier for me personally. I don't have to constantly take them in and out, because I wasn't like, I mean, I did use them pretty often because I did travel on weekends for like cheer competitions, but besides that, I didn't have to move them super often. And you still have plenty of space behind where the drawers are and the rest of the space under the bed. Okay, the next thing goes towards the wardrobe. I think you 100% need hanger extenders. So these things were amazing for me personally, and I'm using them right now still. I use them to stack more than one piece of clothing like at a time on my hanger, because there's very limited hanging space, and I like to hang a lot of my clothes. I'd like to hang a lot of my stuff. So this just allowed me to have like 5 pieces of clothing on one like hook. So I thought that was great for like t-shirts and things like that, and it also works really well with my jeans and like dresses. So overall, I really recommend getting like 1 pack of these on Amazon, and I don't believe they're too expensive. I think it was like $10 for a pack of them or something like that, but very worth it. Oh, and also over the door hook things, you'll see the picture of it here, and I use these personally to dry the clothes that can't go in the dryer. It's like air drying things, and I still use them right now because I don't really have many places to air dry things, and I would rather just throw it on a hanger. So I would hang them, and then I would put the over the door hanger over my wardrobe, and I would just let things hang until they air dried. So I thought that was very helpful. Would recommend those as well. And I would get a tension set. Oh my god, this is a lot of like S's and H's. A tension shelf for inside your closet. So I use this for another row of shoes. I have a lot of shoes, I have a lot of clothes, I love my things, okay? And I thought this came in handy for having another row for like sandals, because I had a lot of boots, I had sandals, I had sneakers, I had everything. I had a lot of stuff. So I use that, and I hung it in between. There's one like shelf in the long part of the wardrobe. I hung that right underneath that first shelf, and it just gave you another row for shoes, and it came in handy for me. So I would definitely recommend the tension shelf if you have a lot of shoes, or you can put whatever you want on it. For me, it came in handy with shoes, but if you wanted to add more, go for it. It just fit perfectly, and it just adjusted to the wardrobe. So I really liked that. And then I would also recommend door stoppers. So you can buy these on Amazon. I did, and we had a couple. So we would use it to put in the shower door, because that shower room gets so hot, and you need to air it out every time like someone takes a shower. And I mean, I would use burning hot water for like 30 minutes in the shower, so I would have to air it out, and you would just put a door stopper in, and it would keep the door open because the door is so heavy, and I just thought it was convenient. And we would also use them, we tried at the beginning beginning of the year to keep our door open to like meet people, but that just wasn't really a thing. Like to keep your door open and like have people in your hall come down just wasn't a thing. So use it for that if you want to, but I don't know, we didn't. Okay, slippers. I personally hate walking around like on a dirty floor with my bare feet, or even in socks, because that's just like gross to me. I would recommend slippers. Even though you might clean constantly, you're still living with 3 other people in like a suite, and personally, just me, I love having a pair of slippers on that I can just throw on and then get up and go and get ready for my day. And it just made me feel cleaner getting out of the shower, drying off, and then putting like my slippers on and walking around with like my room and stuff. I just personally really like slippers. I wear them all the time here. I always have them on just because I like to be barefoot and then a pair of slippers, and I would rather not walk around barefoot on the floor. So that's just me, but I would definitely recommend slippers. I'll link the ones that I use. They're like 20 bucks and I think they're pretty comfy. Okay, you definitely need a water like purifier filter kind of thing. I prefer the taste of a pure water filter. I don't like the taste of a Brita filter. I think it just tastes gross to me. I don't know what it is. I do think water tastes differently, but I got the pure one. So I got the 30 quart. That doesn't sound right, but I think that's what it is. It's like the 30 something. It's like a bigger one. So I still have it now. I bought this and we kept it on top of our microwave, so it was right now near the sink, and we would just like fill it up and stuff, because I personally did not go to the dining hall every day. I also did not go like to go fill up my water. I think that's unnecessary. Not only unnecessary is like I don't have time for that, and you would have to swipe to go in, so it just didn't make sense for me to constantly go and fill water up, and I'm constantly drinking water. I wasn't gonna have all these bottles of water because that's just also kind of hard to get, especially when I didn't have my car for the first quarter. So I'd recommend getting some sort of air like water purifier thing. You can even get like the handheld ones. A lot of people like those. I know our suite mates had that and they put it in their fridge, so it was always cold. We just had a large thing that we had to keep outside of our fridge. Definitely recommend a water purifier. And this is going to be very extra, but it did come in handy. Like we use this every single day, always. It was always on. We loved our ice machine. I bought an ice machine because I was so tired of making the little tiny cubes in our freezer, and because I'm gluten-free and I can't eat most of the things they had at the dining hall, I was buying groceries and stuff to make food in the room from what I could. I was eating out a lot too, but I was buying stuff out. I was using the freezer for food. So like having the ice trays, having to keep them perfectly flat so that way they could freeze, and it was just a pain, and I was so sick of it, and I was like, I'm buying an ice machine, I don't care. So like a couple weeks in, I bought this. There was a sale on Best Buy. It was like $90 I think, and it lasted all year long. I mean, it still was fine. It was just getting gross, and we now have ice in our fridge here, so I just got rid of it. Honestly, if you are thinking that you use ice all the time, like I can't drink water without ice. I have to have iced water on all the time. So I would fill my water up with my ice and my water, and I'd be set for the day. Well, I would be refilling it, but for me, it just like came like in handy. I just personally think it was amazing, and I really couldn't live without it. Take that with as you will. Maybe you're gonna want one. Maybe, I don't know. Our RAs actually really liked our ice machine, so who knows? I think it's allowed. I don't see why not. I mean, our RAs liked it, so I don't think it was not allowed because they approved it on our inspection. So okay, also a humidifier. I did get one of these for like the winter time, because although Georgia is always humid, it gets to a point in the room that it's dry. It's just dry air because there's no windows. You can't open windows and get fresh air in, so it was just dry, and I needed a humidifier because otherwise my nose gets so stuffy when I sleep, and if I don't have one, it like really throws everything off. So in the summer I don't need one, obviously, but in the winter I really recommend one. Just make sure like your roommates all approve of it and everything. Personally, I think it's helpful for like the winter time, like more like January, February. That's when I really needed it a lot, when it was cool. Okay, a suitcase wear. You're gonna think this is kind of like, why would I need that in my dorm? But if you're flying home a lot, so for me, I took a lot of stuff home on my Christmas break, and that's because you couldn't get back into your dorm between Thanksgiving and when you came back after the new year. And that's not a bad thing, but I was coming back to Georgia anyway, so for me that was like frustrating that I couldn't get back into my room. So I took a lot of stuff home. I never know how much my suitcase weighs. It's always over. So suitcase wear is helpful for me when I was going home, like back and forth and taking checked bags. If you're not taking checked bags, then don't worry about it, but I mean, I would recommend it. I think it's pretty helpful to have. Desk organizers, very much recommended. I had like an acrylic thing for my laptop, which was nice because then I could throw notebooks and stuff underneath it, which would just raise it a little bit. Then I had like a wooden thing that I could stack a bunch of books and pens and pencils and stuff like that on. And then I also had something else. Oh, I had like things to put like notebooks and stuff like that in, but any kind of thing you want, I would definitely just recommend something to keep your desk organized. Definitely something to put like pens and pencils in. You're gonna have a lot of art supplies. So I'd also recommend some sort of like drawers or something to keep supplies on. Personally, I had like a 10 drawer thing that I thought was helpful because I kept my makeup in there, I kept my hair stuff, I kept like like everything to get ready, and then I kept also art supplies and school supplies. So for me, that was helpful. Some people had like just like a regular like 3-tier cart, but like for me, I liked a lot of drawers. I need a lot of space. Again, I have a lot of stuff. I also had a sunglass holder, and I put this on the inside of my door in my wardrobe, so I would keep all my sunglasses on there. That's also because I have a lot of sunglasses and my eyes are so sensitive to the sun that I have to have a pair every time I go outside here. I don't know, it's just so bad. My blue eyes just are terrible with the sun. I kept all my sunglasses there. I also had like a little thing to keep my masks on. We don't need masks anymore, but in the fall, in the spring quarter, they were required still because it was still like COVID time. And then I also had like a little mirror thing for like my desk, because you're gonna need something to get ready in the morning if you're getting ready like at your desk. That's where I like to sit and get ready. Some people like to stand in the mirror in the bathroom. You can do that too, but like for me, I wanted something on my desk and it lit up as well. So I'll link the travel mirror I had. I actually really liked it because it just like folded open and closed, so then it was like compact and like I could just put it away, so that way it was like out of like my way. And I'd also recommend, this isn't really like dorm, but I'd recommend getting the freshman kit, which is like the freshman like supplies. So you're not gonna need everything in it, but like a good amount of it you'll need. So I thought it was pretty helpful. Once you meet your like professors and stuff, then you can like get their stuff as well. I don't know, I thought it was kind of helpful. Some people didn't. I thought it was helpful. You can get it if you want to. It's not required, but it's like it's there for you if you want to have some school supplies when you start school, more like art supplies. Like I didn't really have that kind of professional stuff. That's why I thought it was helpful, because I didn't have that stuff going in. Okay, so that's all the stuff that I linked down below. Now moving into just stuff that I'd recommend having, or that I did have that's not linked below. Printer. I personally think that having a printer in the room is very convenient, because if you want to like print on Scad property, you totally can and use Scad printers, but it does take out money from like, you have like a limit of those. So I'd recommend like printing like bigger things at the Scad printers, and then just printing like essays or something like that, just random. Sorry, I don't know, I just think it was helpful to have a printer in the room because I printed out my syllabi, things like that. Oh, I forgot to mention also, you really want a shower shelf kind of thing, or like caddy I guess, to put in the shower room, so that way you can keep like your stuff on it. Well, for us, we had 4 girls in a room. That's a lot of like stuff to use in the shower, so we had to keep stuff on like our little rack outside of it. So all of my shampoo, conditioner, all that was like outside of the shower, which was fine. And I'll have that little caddy that I have linked below, because it's like just plastic, so like the water would drip right through, so it's like fine. But you're gonna want like something to put in the toilet room to hold supplies. That's where we kept our toilet paper, our cleaning supplies, paper towels, all of that stuff, like extra backup, like first aid, everything. We kept that in the toilet room, so we just had a couple like shelf kind of things, like rack things in there. So I would recommend getting something like that. I didn't buy any of those things, so I don't have links for that, but just something to fit in the toilet room. Definitely get a first aid kit. Probably gonna forget about it until you really need band-aids, because I cut myself constantly. I constantly get blisters on my feet. I need to go get more band-aids right now, but you're gonna want like band-aids for sure. Get a bunch of band-aids, first aid kit, just something small, and we threw that in the toilet room, that kind of stuff. I would recommend a robe. I don't want to like get out of a shower and throw on my outfit for the day. It's in a hot shower room. I would want to put a robe on, go to my room, then change, you know? I'd recommend a robe. It just made more sense for me. Definitely need a handheld vacuum. Doesn't matter like what you have, just get a handheld vacuum at least. And if you have rugs, which I'll get into in a second, if you have rugs, get a regular vacuum also, because we realized how dirty our rug was until we got a regular vacuum. Crazy, the amount of dirt and just hair, especially with again, 4 girls, so much like hair and just like stuff everywhere that you don't see. Swiffers are very good as well. I would recommend a Swiffer. I use a Swiffer constantly in this place now. And then for a rug, we had a 7x10 rug, and we put that like with like the 10-foot underneath both beds, so it fit perfectly. We really enjoyed it, and it felt homier because you would get out of bed and you would step onto a rug. And I personally thought that was like one of like the things that made the room feel a little bit homier. I'd recommend having it. Having a nice rug under your bed, or just something that's not the tile, like the cold tile floor of a dorm room, you know? So get something to make it feel homier. Rugs are nice. And again, we put a rug in the living room as well, so that's when we wanted a nice big vacuum. I bought that myself, so I do have that still. And then we also had a handheld vacuum, which comes in handy for sure to just like pick up little things quick, because if you're gonna have crumbs everywhere, it's gonna get gross. So Downy wrinkle release spray. That spray is your best friend. You're not gonna have an iron in a dorm room. I mean, I still use Downy wrinkle release constantly to just like get the wrinkles out of my clothes, especially when you have a lot of stuff like folded up. Like I would have some stuff that's folded and it would just be like so so gross, and it just makes it smell good too. So just like spray a little wrinkle release on it. It's like your best friend. It just like makes your clothes look good as new. Large bins for above your wardrobe. You can just get those like gallon, I don't even know what they're called. Those big clear bins, like, you know, like, I don't know, storage bins, the big ones. Put 2 of those above your wardrobe and just fill those stuff with stuff. I had one that had just towels in it. Those are all my towels. The other one was just random things I didn't really use often. So for me, it was perfect to just throw them above my wardrobe, and they were like good up there. So me and my roommate each had them. So or above our wardrobes, we had 4 bins total up there. So they fit perfectly. I'd recommend a small step stool if you want to like reach the top of your cabinets and you can't. So like I could, but I also kept like food on top of the cabinet. Like I kept like the little clear cute containers of stuff all on the top. So I needed a step stool to get that stuff. And I would step on my chair, but I did fall out of it one time trying to get stuff out of those bins above my wardrobe. So a small step stool wouldn't be a bad idea. I used it came in handy. That's what I'm saying. Oh, a tool kit. Definitely have a tool kit. You're gonna want a screwdriver at some point, or like a tape measure or something random. Just get a tool kit. It's just really helpful. Shelf risers for under the sink. You're not really gonna think of it, but you can make storage in anywhere in that place. So obviously they have the kitchen area where you have like shelves above the sink, and then you have it underneath the sink. So we put like a shelf riser underneath the sink to get a little more storage in there. We probably could have done more, but that's what we had, and it came in handy. So I'd recommend doing that. I'd recommend decorating. It just makes it feel much more homier. I loved how I put pictures above my headboard of like my family and friends and like aesthetic pictures. I just thought it looked so nice. And then I also had like pictures on my wall. Some people like tapestries. Literally whatever you want to decorate, just decorate. Just make it more fun. Lights, whatever you want. We did have LED lights in our living room. I personally hate the way LED lights look, but it's fine. I didn't spend a ton of time in the living room anyway. Just like make it like how you would want it to look, because you are going to be living there for a year. Just make it like pretty and fun as much as you can. Definitely don't forget about drawer organizers. So you're going to want to organize that bathroom drawer that you get. Each of your roommates will each have like a bathroom drawer, so you're definitely going to want to figure out some sort of organization for inside of yours, because it's very deep. It's really deep. So I put a shower caddy, like the plastic ones that most dorms use to like go back and forth to shower rooms, but obviously yours is all in one. So I just kept it inside, and it was really helpful to organize things. And then you're also going to want organizers for like your nightstand drawer. That's where I kept my medicines and stuff like that, because I do have like medicines I have to take daily. And I just kept chargers, I think, in there, just like random things like that. You want extension cords. Definitely a couple extension cords. There's very few outlets in the room. I think you might get like 2 or 3. I think 2 on your side of the room. So make use of extension cords and just plug in what you can. And I'd recommend the little power cubes that have multiple like USB ports. Those came in handy too. I have those. Lights. I had a clip-on one, like a clip-on lamp for my bed. So a lot of people use those like as reading light, but it did come in handy. Well, I use it for reading light too, but it came in handy like just for putting on light in my room for when I needed it. And then having a small lamp for my desk was nice, especially if I was up doing work at night, which usually didn't really happen. But like if that did happen, it was nice to have like a small light that wasn't too bright. I also had like a ring light that I used to film things for classes, because we still had to film like things for classes, which was fine, but that was really helpful. And then we also had 2 really big like actual lamps for the living room, because my roommates don't like the big overhead light. They want a lighter light for like night and stuff like that, to make it like really like warmer toned and not as like crazy. I didn't mind the overhead light, but yeah, if you want like lamps for the living room too, just think of that. Lastly, I'd recommend portable chargers, but that was really it. That actually took a lot longer for me to film than I thought it would, but that was a lot of info, a lot of different things. So take that as you will, and get stuff, don't get stuff, whatever you want. It kind of depends on you. This worked really well for me. Oh, also that Target like over the door mirror, that thing came in handy. Yes, that was all for today's video. I hope it was helpful. As much as I can is linked down below. So I want to thank you guys all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye guys. Sunrise, you and me still